YouTubers, welcome to Sharp Context Sports, where there's no touting, just tips and picks, analytics, and some tricks to give you an edge in the world of sports betting and fantasy sports. Come join us and help create a community for all of us to talk and enjoy sports together. YouTubers, let's talk about KC at the Baltimore Ravens. The line currently is sitting at 53.5 for the over-under, and the Ravens -3 at -125. There's a lot of juice on both the over-under and the spread. One question I have about this game is if the Kansas City Chiefs defense will be able to stop the run. David Johnson, week 1, was able to have success running the ball, and he's never been that good of a runner. Even Austin Eckler, week 2, was averaging 5.8 yards per carry. Last year, KC started out the first half as the worst team stopping the run. And then down the stretch, they got pretty good at stopping the run. So they have that capability to do it. They have the players to do it. And additionally, KC's pass defense isn't that good. They are currently 28th in opponents' yards per pass attempt. Now, a lot of that was against Houston in garbage time, and also they played a rookie who they didn't game plan for. So it'd be really interesting to see what kind of game plan they roll out with. As for the Baltimore Ravens defense, people are going to remember last year how bad KC beat them. But if you actually look into it, Baltimore Ravens had a lot of injuries on their back end, their defensive backs. And then what did they do after that game? They traded for Marcus Peters from the Rams. And that completely transformed their whole defense. They went from a defense who couldn't get a pass rush, with no depth at the DB position because Jimmy Smith was injured. And that whole secondary was just banged up against the Chiefs last year. So after they got Marcus Peters, what did they do? They were able to just man up and just blitz and blitz and blitz. They were the most blitz-happy team in the league last year because they had the studs in the back to cover the receivers. So let's look at their DBs. They got Jimmy Smith, Marlon Humphreys, and Marcus Peters. It'd be nice if they still had Earl Thomas, but the two safeties they have are pretty good. The corners will be able to mask a lot of the flaws that the safeties have. And as I said last year, they couldn't stop the run. That's why they lost to Tennessee Titans. And what people aren't talking about, too, is they had 3 weeks off before they played that game. They came out looking rusty. This defense is built like the New England Patriots defense, a Bill Belichick defense, where you have good corners and good safeties. And when your guys can match up one-on-one, that allows the defense to do many things that you wouldn't be able to do. And as I said, they couldn't stop the run last year. So what do? They go out and add Calais Campbell and Derek Wolfe, two vets who's been there and done that. They're solid additions to this team. So let's take a look at Andy Reid's kryptonite. That's Bill Belichick. I think currently Bill Belichick is 7-2 against Andy Reid. And one of those came in the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles when he was still in Philly. And the other two was against Mahomes in the playoffs, both times. Andy Reid did beat Belichick in the season opener a few years ago. But what Belichick learned was he needed to stop the pass. His way to the Super Bowl was to beat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Belichick's defense is tailored to beat Patrick Mahomes. That's why they lost to Tennessee last year. And that's the kind of defense Baltimore Ravens has. And they can stop the run this year. How I see this game going is I think Baltimore is just going to have their way on offense. And KC, they're just going to have spurts because that's just the kind of team they are. They struggle and then just blow up a quarter or two to put up points. I think the Ravens are going to try to keep the ball away from Mahomes and run the ball. And if they can successfully do that, I believe the defense should do enough to hold them down and get the win. So if I had to make a bet, I'd take the Ravens -3. And then as for the over-under at 53.5, I feel like everyone's going to be betting this over. So I think if I had to lean, I'd probably just wait till the last minute and take the under. I mean, both these teams are more than capable of going over. So if you like the over, then go ahead.